Yeah. Okay. Kirsten, you can you can unmute yourself and show us your smiley face. We actually like to see people in chats to see who we're talking to.
Unfortunately, I'm eating lunch, but hope that's not a problem.
Oh, that's okay. I've got my lunch being made. It'll be done by the time this session's over with. So it's
I'm gonna have my picture muted because otherwise you'll be staring at the ceiling. I'm listening and unfortunately organizing crafts.
well, the fan chats are the only times that we kind of like to know what's oh, Rachel's making dinner, so that's why she's not. And that's okay. So this session, our first focused chat for the convention is we are going to talk about the Atlantis Grail games of the Atlantis Grail. What are your favorite parts? What are your least favorite parts? How do you think everything went? Did you have favorite characters? Did you have characters you love to hate? And what kind of people do you think citizens would be turning up if they were all like, for example, they were all like Deneb or Thalassa? Does that say much for their civilization? So I put out a whole bunch of stuff there, so I'm looking for bites.
My favorite part was on the pyramid.
Okay.
When they ended up with blocks blocking them in, and Bree was having her panic attack, and then just kind of managed to get through it. I think that says a lot for Bree and her mentality of I can do this.
Because she would not, also she never admitted that she had a problem. Glenn knew she had a problem, but she couldn't get her to admit that she had a problem.
Yeah, but not everybody can admit to things.
That's true.
A lot of life we go through just getting through and going, okay, this will end, and we get on to the next part.
If you're ashamed of something, which she clearly was, because it showed a weakness in her mind, that's something that you never want to admit to anybody. It's like, no, that's not a problem for me. Because you have to show that face of strength.
Especially there when you're there to protect Bree. I mean, to protect Gwen.
Yeah.
What do you think about 2R? I mean, he got a really cushy job afterwards.
He deserved it.
I think so. I mean, he was willing to die in the games for what he wanted. And he ended up protecting Gwen just because he thought it was the right thing to do. And she in turn wanted to protect him, and Asen saw it. He's going, okay, well, this guy's worth keeping.
And he had the skills to do it.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite part in the whole series is Gwen's connection to the Pegasi. And actually, anytime when Gwen comes to a realization about something, those are overall, that's my favorite part.
There were a lot of moments in the games that were just really moving in one way or another, or the kind of things that just make you go, yes. Like,
Yeah. It's like
you know,
a light turns on.
yeah,
And she realizes a bigger picture.
yeah. I mean, just at the end in the final race where she's racing, towards the yellow grail, and the audience starts chanting Imperatrix, Imperatrix, you're like, yes, look at the impression that she made on all those people. When they came in, she came in and they were all kind of despising her.
Well, she was
Do
the
you,
favorite girl.
do you think that Gwen's participation in the games helped her image or hurt it?
Oh, it helped it.
Oh, it absolutely helped.
Because the populace, the average person, got to see Gwen as Gwen. I mean, she wasn't this usurper that, from Earth who was stealing their prince. This nobody. Yeah, she was a nobody, but you know what? They realized that she was much more than that. And then that's when they started calling her Gebby Goddess.
Yeah.
They realized that, yeah, she's supposed to be there. She's supposed to be here. We need her. And it was, that to me was the biggest realization. Plus, Ariane telling her, I know what's supposed to happen, but I can't really help you gain it. But this, there's certain things that have to happen. And I know I'm supposed to be here and you're supposed to do them, but you got to make that choice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was impossible not to respect the things that she did in the games. I mean, she time after time after time, she became a leader and a solution person, even early on. So, and they were the people of Atlantis were not the people from Earth watching, but the people of Atlantis were connoisseurs of the games, and so they had to respect what she was doing.
Do you think
they had
that
been
the people from
inspired.
Earth did? Do you think she gained any respect from the people of Earth?
I think she should have, yes.
I'm sure she did. You can't help but respect anybody when you see them going through all that and surviving, much less triumphing.
Triumphing. She triumphed.
Yeah.
Triumphed.
I'm sure they
Everybody
respected
loves a
her,
winner.
but some of them had to be jealous.
Right.
Oh, they're not worth worrying about. I mean,
Some probably were, but some were probably in those semifinals in LA with her, And so really, when you think about that, like they, I'm sure they were thinking, wow, she deserved this reputation she had, or, people that hadn't previously known her, but maybe they had heard about her through the grapevine. Maybe they were like, oh, wow, no, she's kind of the real deal, which, I think would also help her image with any Earthies who maybe thought, oh, we're jealous because she was in the right place at the right time.
I think even before the game, she earned a lot of respect from people like Tiago, the two prison guards. They're going, yeah, well, she's probably here because of this. And then they realize, no, she's earnest. I mean, she might go in there and die. So we're going to help her. But I think Tiago was one that was one of her biggest champions in the corner.
And all the
I actually like how
publicity.
funny they were. I mean, that situation with the Orical, trying to key her uniform to help them fly and jump. That had to be the funniest scene I think I've ever read anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were, I mean, they were just, I mean, I thought it was funny, you know, that Deneb and Thalassa, okay, well, we're gonna kill her and, we're gonna gain all these points and people are gonna love us. And they didn't. And then Deneb's going, well, you were really popular and I would have been okay, but now you're not worth my time. So you're just gonna be on my team. Okay.
Yeah.
She proved in very strange ways that she could help, be it her pantsing the was that Thalassa?
Separate.
No,
No, whoever it was that she pulled the pants down on when Deneb was going around and doing their hunt. And ended up with the Grail. It was just like, it was funny because she had no problem then going, okay, here's the Grail. I don't want it because that makes me a target. She didn't want to be a target. She also did not want to hurt anybody in there. And I think she proved herself to be just that she had honor when she flipped on the pyramid, when she flipped the thingies. I mean, instead of flipping the
Trays.
she
Yeah,
brought them
okay.
back in. I mean, that just shows a force of character that everyone thought, well, why didn't you go after the points? And it's like, she doesn't want the points.
Yeah.
She's not trying to kill people.
She showed a whole nation humanity, what humanity meant.
Well, it's amazing because you think.
and
when
I'm
you
sure
look at-
that puzzled a lot of people because that's not what they went for. Like the Roman Colosseum, a lot of people went for look at that disaster, look at how that person got killed. They weren't expecting that. They were like, that's just weird. Everybody in there is expected to kill their way to the end. And the fact that she didn't do that wasn't her goal, was probably seen as pretty strange to a lot of people, at least at the beginning.
Mhm.
Well,
when
yeah, I
you're
mean,
in a life or
even
death situation,
Tiago told her, this is what you're gonna have to do. And she's going, no, I don't wanna do that.
the whole concept behind that, or things like the Hunger Games, or any of those sort of almost gladiatorial situations. The idea is, what is humanity, and people regress to their baser instincts and their basest self. And what we see about the base of Gwen is that she is a good person, that she is highly intelligent, that she is creative, that she is a leader, that she, has a goal and sticks to her goal. She was not trying to be famous. She was not trying to win. She wanted to survive so she could be with Aeson. That's all she
Right.
wanted.
Now I'm getting some things over in chat. The gal she pantsed was Serpent Lateo.
Yep. Technically.
That was unintentional, though.
Well,
At least the
yeah, I
pantsing
mean,
part.
I really thought it was funny, when she decided, oh, well, our uniforms have orichalcum in them. So we'll just, we'll fly, and then, no, gave herself a major wedgie. But then she realized that, oh no, I can do my bag and I can float on my bag. No, that made more sense.
Was it
She
Bree?
thought outside of the box.
Well, Bree was just kind of, all right, I've been in jail, so I didn't get a lot of this Atlantio knowledge that y'all did. I got a kind of a last minute crash course from Dum Dum. And, he wasn't the best instructor. He just talked and talked and talked and talked.
She had learned a lot though from Earth Union, I think, on the fighting thing.
Well, yeah, she was, but she didn't know anything about Atlanteans or the, speaking Atlantio. But she knew how to fight. She was military, American military. She knew how to fight. And what else is she going to do in jail besides, languish and do nothing? No, she did her exercises in her little in her little cell.
Probably to keep
What?
herself going crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to do my sit-ups and my push-ups and my jumping jacks and whatever else I can do in this very tiny space, but I'm going to work out.
What quadrant was she? I don't remember.
Bree was
Red.
red,
Red.
Okay,
very red.
So
Very.
red.
okay.
She was crimson. I like Brie. I cannot wait to read her novella because
Yeah,
main
she's an
series.
interesting person.
I had some speculations.
I was
for
kind of
sure.
sad that, she decided to go back to Earth. I wasn't surprised, but I was sad. Because she won't get the opportunities on Earth that she had on Atlantis, but she wasn't happy on Atlantis. So
Don't you think they'll be travel back and forth now, though?
no,
You
I
don't?
really don't. I think it was a one-way thing. Then they had a few like LaRonda wanted to visit her family, but then she wanted to come back. And they did have some that, yeah, it's a once and done. Number one,
I don't
takes
agree with
a year to
that.
get-
I think that there
They
will be travel back
don't
and forth.
Actually say
it takes
that.
a year to get there and back. It takes 2 years to
Yeah.
get there and back.
Well, it does if
Uh,
they're taking a whole fleet, but it doesn't on individual ships. I don't-
It
I don't
still
agree.
takes 3 to 6 months. And then you've
I
got the
know.
gravity to worry about. That takes 3 months or so just to get used to the heavier gravity.
Not only
Right.
that, you have the jump, and as the years go by, people aren't going to be able to go.
No,
Mhm.
now I can see staying in,
Don't forget about Starlight,
video
though. I think that we'll
communication.
see travel using Starlight.
Exactly. Thank you, Starlight.
but Starlight is still secret. Not everybody can do it.
Well, I
Sure.
know, but the information is that in theory, most people could do it. I think we'll see more than we think.
Yeah, I don't feel that we're done with Brie. That's what I think. I think there'll be more.
Wasn't Earth still negotiating, trying to get back some of its wonders and all the stuff?
We'll learn more about those in, I think, everything, but I don't think everything went back.
No, a lot of stuff hadn't gone back yet.
And a lot of
Um,
stuff never will. I
It
don't
never
think.
will. It's going to cost too much. But I live in Greece, and when I visit Athens, the Acropolis is there. Knowing that that's on another planet would drive them crazy.
Well,
Well,
the same thing,
The same in
the same thing
Cairo.
the
You look
pyramid in
across
Giza,
the
but
city and you can see the pyramids, and they're not there, or it's not there.
But the pyramids could have been built by the Atlanteans to begin with, and they're only reclaiming their property.
Well, the
Maybe
stuff about
because of the
Atlantis, they'll be like,
Aralthea
"We get it."
or yeah. I
But
can't
anyway,
say
back to
these
the
words.
games. Back to the games.
The different symbols that are on the blocks. So they must have had something to do with Atlantis, but it just seems I don't know. But a really funny side note is I didn't find out about this until 2 days ago because I don't go online that much. And for the past several months, when I go to bed, I've been rereading the series.
Okay.
Awesome.
And
So
we're
you're gonna
working
join
up.
in some of the trivia games then. You've been rereading it. It's fresh knowledge. Come join the trivia games.
It just seems funny that I was reading and then I find this. I'm going, ooh, cool.
We like new people.
Yes,
We like to
that's
meet new
great.
people.
Ah,
Lack of rereading before the trivia game showed today. Ooh,
oh, maybe I can 4:15. Yeah, I should be able to make that.
Yeah,
And
give
then,
it a
well,
shot.
there's two more later on
we
as
have
well.
3 more sessions today, so.
Yep. 3 more opportunities for you to show off your knowledge and win some prizes
And gather knowledge.
and gather knowledge. Exactly.
Mhm.
And it's just super fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
It is, but anyway, back to the games. What type of people do you think the Atlanteans were really looking for in their citizens? If we can base the personalities of like Deneb and Thalassa and Sarpanet and all those, what was it, the other guy, Ujasti? I think.
Yep.
If we base it on them, what kind of people do you think, do you really want those ruthless killers?
No.
Well,
No,
Hedge
but when
wasn't
you learn about
supposed-
the book of everything, that's not what the games were supposed to be when they started. So
Got perverted over several thousand years.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
the thing is- the
what
thing
does
is,
that say?
Nancy-
What does that say though for the society?
But Nancy, the thing is, those
Humanity.
rulers didn't make it through. They didn't
True.
make it.
Well,
True.
Hedge made it through, and I don't think he was a bad person. He just saw it as the way to solve a societal problem that he
Right.
could solve.
He was just playing the system.
Yep.
That's what
Mhm.
was expected, and it was the norm, so that was okay. But he wasn't a bad person. And
No,
he,
Hedge was
and
actually
he
a good
made it
person.
through because he had character.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
maybe
skills.
that's the thing about the games, that if you had character, you would make it. Look at Tiago. He wasn't necessarily a fighter or an athlete or anything, but he had character. And
He had a
made it.
lot of character.
So
He was quite a character.
maybe without us actually realizing it, if you don't have character, you don't make it in the games.
And leadership skills too, because it seems like a lot of the people who won, well, certainly Gwen's team, but to be able to build a team that was going to be loyal to you and not necessarily turn around and stab you in the back every time takes a certain character quality. Like you said, leadership is a big one. And so that would be something you would want in a citizen, I would think.
And then there was
And when
rumor
it came to
that
the final race, there was only one team that stayed as a team, and that was Gwen's.
then there was Rurum
Because
Keith,
of
who
Gwen.
was
Yeah,
trying to prove
he
his
was
point.
just an outlier.
Yeah.
He said he was doing it to make a point that you could succeed on your own. He wanted to show that.
And that his art.
And he
was
did
right.
that.
Wasn't the main goal of even bringing everybody from Earth to get new blood, new perspective,
Yes.
new ideas?
Absolutely.
And that's what they told the population.
But you don't think that's what it was? Well, the imperative.
Part of it was, and I mean, I guess one of the things that kind of bothered me, like during their education on the ships, yeah, they told them some things, but then they didn't tell them like some real basic differences in relationships. It was like, okay, you got your Atlanteans and you got your Earthlings, your Gebby, and yeah, we want you to mix, but we're not going to tell you how.
I had a problem with trying to understand how the different ships went different places, which means on different ships, one of them was learning Deshi because it went to New
Uh-huh.
Deshi.
Yeah.
So it just kind of seems like, depending on the ship you end up on, you could be her brother and sister could have been sent almost anywhere else.
Mhm.
I do think the majority of them went to Imperial Atlantida.
Yeah, I
That's
think
always
it
the
was
impression
like
I got.
70% because they contributed the most resources. New Deshret would have contributed a sizable amount as well. But yeah, there was a lot of them that would have went to
Second. Yes, I know the
but with Asen knowing, where the ships were all going, if the one that Gordy and Gracie were on was not going to Imperial Atlantida, he would have made
He would
sure
have
that
had
they
to
were
go.
transferred to a ship that did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not necessarily on his ship, because I think being on his ship would have been a hindrance for Gwen.
Yes.
She would have been relying more on her, brother and sister, and she needed to be on her own for a while.
Well, I actually don't know that
rely-
she would have been relying on them. I think she would have been more involved in their lives.
I
Yeah,
think she would have
therefore-
been more distracted by them because she would have felt like she needed to take care of them instead of
Yes,
letting
Yes.
them take care of herself. So I think it would have been a huge distraction for her more than anything else. I think
Yeah,
the
that's
other
fair.
part she would have been doing too, but I think that, distraction would be number one.
And then she might not have been practicing as so hard for, I mean, she would have wanted to because she still wanted to bring their parents, and that would have been something that her brother and sister would have liked, although they didn't like how she was thinking of going about it. They certainly didn't want her in the games. But she might have spent more time arguing with them about it than actually focusing on her training, which is what enabled her to get through the games.
now things happen for a reason. I mean, her team building, she didn't say, okay, I want you, and you. It was kind of, okay, we're going to be a team and we're going to be friends until I have to kill you. With Zap.
I love Zap.
Actually, that was more Zap.
I mean, it was,
That
and
was
then,
more
the
Zap.
others just kind of, Bree was kind of, I'm on your team because, I want to get out of jail and you're my get out of jail free card.
Mhm.
So yeah, you and I are stuck with each other. But the others all, okay, well, she's all right. We can join her. If it doesn't work out, we can go with somebody else.
This will do until something better comes along.
Yeah. Except the thing is, nothing better came along, and they all just said,
Well, actually,
best
for
thing that's
for Kateb, she was the better that came along.
Yeah.
Think about it. He
yeah.
specifically went to look for her.
Because he
wanted
had
to
been
join
left
her.
behind by the guy he was,
Then-
quote, a team with.
By Deneb, and
Yeah.
but he was
And-
also she
and-
also impressed him greatly.
and Deneb, let's face it, Deneb was not nice to his teammates.
No.
He was kind of a bully.
All I
um,
know is that when you start reading the games, you can't put the book down.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
The fact that she let Lolu back on her team speaks volumes about her understanding about why she did what she did.
Yes.
What?
Well,
She's protected.
Lolu had two things going for her. She reminded her of her own sister and what she would have done for Gracie in that situation, what she tried to do for Gracie in a similar situation, and her mother was dying.
Mhm.
Yes,
That's that's a gut punch that's a gut
Yes.
punch for anybody but for Gwen especially.
Yeah.
She knew what that meant because she was doing it for the
and
same
Gwen was
reason.
one who believed in second chances. I mean, look what she did with the warrior that was going to kill her. We can still work together. We can still make this work.
Right. When you're protective by nature.
She wanted to think the
gotta
best of
protect-
people.
Yep. You'll protect others above yourself, which is why she needed Bree, because she would have put other people before her own safety because of her protective nature.
Well, she did. She
Yes.
did that in stage 3 when she was helping. Was it Kateb and oh God, I'm blanking.
In the Shark Tank.
No, not the Shark Tank. The ice rink in stage
Oh,
3.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she did that as far back as stage 1 when she walked out of the safe house to sacrifice herself
Yeah.
for Lolu's brother.
Not her smartest moment.
No, not her smartest
No,
moment.
it really wasn't. But
She kind of figured
it
she was
was,
dead
it
anyway,
just, it
so-
showed that, yeah, I mean, the populace was led to believe certain things about her. And she didn't really do anything other than be herself. And they realized that, okay, somebody's lying to us because this ain't the same girl.
Right.
And then her leadership abilities started to come out and they were natural. She wasn't forcing anybody. And she said, you can stay with me as long as you want. I don't care. But if you're going to stay with me, you're going to do this, this, and this. And with that, folks, we are now out of time.
Goodness,
Wow.
Wow.
That went
Oh,
fast.
30 minutes goes by really fast.
Yes, it does.
Good chat.
So our next session is in 15 minutes.
Yep, at 2:30, and that's the Michelle Thaler panel. Thaler,
Mhm.
Thaler. We can't ever agree on how to say her name.
You won't
And
wanna
she
miss it.
is, and I just got an email from her that she is ready to go. So
Hot dog.
Awesome.
Oh, she's wonderful.
Okay.
All right. See you
she
guys
is,
later.
she is a very interesting person. So with that, I will see everyone shortly.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.